It's New Year's Eve, December 31st, Saturday, and there's a vote in the Security Council at 11 a.m., or there's a meeting, and Russia says a vote on a resolution to endorse the Russian-Turkish ceasefire deal in Syria. There was a meeting about it yesterday, after which Inner City Press asked Churkin, the ambassador of Russia, if groups like al-Sham and Jaish al-Islam are part of the deal. He said he wasn't sure he had the whole list, but as it turns out, it appears that al-Sham has expressed some support for it, was not a signer. There are also reports of some continued, I guess you could call them ceasefire violations in and around Damascus. So it'll be interesting to see what the other council members say and do. We really didn't hear from them yesterday. Churkin spoke on his way in. Churkin spoke afterwards. Samantha Power of the U.S. was basically, at least by us, only seen coming in briefly for the farewell to Ban Ki-moon, an entirely overdone, over-the-top vanity event. It's been an entire month of concerts for Ban Ki-moon, portraits of Ban Ki-moon. What we need to say is that on his last day, we asked his spokesman the simplest question: what was Ban Ki-moon's net worth when he took the position in 2007, and what is it as he leaves? Or the most recent figure they have. No answer at all. Meanwhile, in Lower Manhattan, there's a UN bribery case. Englap Sang, the Macau-based businessman who bribed his way into the UN Secretariat, aided and abetted by the head of the Department of Public Information, Christina Gayach. You can read the OIOS audit, paragraphs 37 through 40 and 20b, to see that she did no due diligence as this individual bought access. Her response: throw Inner City Press in the street, evict it from its office, leave South News, which is named in the indictment and in the superseding indictment and in the memorandum of law in support of the superseding indictment filed on December 30th, as a conduit for bribery. So while Christina Gayach is from afar putting out photographs of herself with Ban Ki-moon in a private jet, that's exactly the point. To protect, to try to cut off questions, or amidst questions about their connection to the bribery scandal, they evicted the media that asked the questions and left entirely in place the one named as a bribery conduit. So it's too much. It's too much. This evening, Ban Ki-moon will drop the ball for the last time, for another time, in Times Square for New Year's Eve. After that, his term will be over, but he'll remain in free housing. We'll have more on that later. Right now, usually we start these broadcasts right on the corner, but today we've got to get in fast for whatever stakeouts there may be prior to the Syria meetings. There it is. You can begin to see it rising in the distance through the mist. The United Nations, a place largely debased in the last 10 years, largely ineffectual. Can it be saved? We hope that it can. We'll be posting some comments by the incoming Secretary General right at midnight, because that's how we roll, respecting embargoes always. And then we'll take it from there. But we'll continue to cover this other piece. Now, we've got to get in. Got to get into the meeting. In the past, it was simpler before the eviction. Okay, this car, I assume, is going to be a participant. The question is, who will participate from the U.S. side? Who shall it be? Who can it be?
Other side, 46. Thank you.
And in the past, other journalists, they just prance in. Now I'll go in a long line through a metal detector. Okay. This is what the UN looks like on New Year's Eve in the daytime at 10:51. We've been delayed by Ban Ki-moon and Christina Gayach's censorship order senselessly, hopefully for the last time, to protect themselves from questions about their link to the Englap Sang corruption scandal. They threw the press in the street and now restrict its movements. What? Hey, what's up? How you doing?
concerns and
They always do. You know how they are. They're such difficult people.
What about our negotiations still going on the text?
Well, there are some discussions.
Do you expect a delay?
You expecting a vote today, though?
Tonight.
I think it could take some time. We hope that there will be some changes in the text that will help those of us who've got questions about developments. We need some more clarity about what the agreements provide, and we want to know how this relates to the UN process.
So you mean, Mr. Ambassador, it's not clear enough to you what the agreement is about?
We know what it's about, but what does it actually mean? That's quite important because, to take an example, that it exempts from the agreement areas like active combat operations against terrorists. Now, what does that mean? It would mean the whole of Idlib, for example. That would concern us.
And what about the endorsement of the word endorse?
Well, that's another problem because we don't want to endorse an agreement which we don't fully understand its implications.
So what would you add or change?
Well, I'm not going to get into the drafting because that's under discussion now, but we do hope that there will be an outcome that we can all support.
You've seen it. People have gone in. The idea, ostensibly, is that people would come to vote at 11 a.m., but clearly that's not happening. Churkin said these people are difficult, and New Zealand said we need more clarity on what's excluded from the ceasefire, and we don't want to endorse it. So joked tonight, and then somebody said, "Are you sure he's joking?" So I'm going to put these videos into an actual Twitter video. Let's see if that works. Yep. So it's again a sweater day. It's Saturday. It's New Year's Eve. This is the United Nations. This is how they roll. But again, there's a lot of carnage in Syria, so it's a pleasure to cover this. And we'll see. We haven't heard anything from the U.S. The U.S. has kind of abdicated its usual finger-waggling role. But if they waggle it, we'll be here. But for now, we need the phone in order to put this video up as a video rather than a live stream. Okay then. To be continued.
Ceasefire will truly hold and will not serve as a justification for further unacceptable offensives. In that regard, we are concerned at reports of a regime offensive supported by Hezbollah militia in Wadi Barada. The Security Council's adoption of this text shows a strong signal that such activity must cease. We have also read reports that some signatories are concerned about differences between regime and opposition versions of delegation documents. In this regard, we hope that reconciliation of any differences or explanation of why there are differences will occur swiftly. We especially stress that OP2 of the resolution just adopted emphasizes the need for full implementation of resolutions 2254 and 2268. Likewise, it is clear from OP3 that talks in Astana will relate directly to the UN's process. Thank you, Mr. President.
The Security Council has approved an amended resolution to welcome Turkey and Russia's efforts for a ceasefire in Syria, but the P3, soon to be only P2, US, UK, and France have expressed skepticism. For covering corruption, I went to cover a meeting about Ban Ki-moon's and Christina Gayach's connection to a bribery case. And they wanted me to leave. I said, if you show me a piece of paper, I'll leave. If a guard asked me to leave, I'll leave. When a guard asked me, I left. 3 weeks later, they ordered me out on 2 hours' notice. 8 guards pushed me out of the UN, smashed my laptop, and now I have a minder to cover the UN. Okay, but I'm going to call it off here and pick it up down at the stakeout. Okay, the Syrian vote has taken place, which is probably larger news than the upcoming changing of the flags. But we're here for the changing of the flags. 5 off, 5 on. Several new members have been clamoring throughout the day to see their flags take their place. Others to see their flags removed. New Zealand, you got to go. España, adios. But Bolivia, bienvenido. So these are the flags. This is the circus. 5 stay on forever. 5 got to go. Había que contestar las preguntas, señor embajador. Y su oficial, Cristina Gayach, no sirve. Sacaron a la prensa a la calle. Okay, now that said, who's going to go? It's like the game of Survivor. It's Security Council Survivor. 5 must go for 5 to come on. Netherlands and Italy fought to a draw and will split their seat, cutting it in half. Here come the flags. Here come the flags. Okay. There's a lot of interest in this whole flag situation. Here come the Poles.
And then if they meet today, we're going to change it.
That's right, that's right. Somebody, New Zealand was like, is my flag gone already? France doesn't. These guys, the P5 don't care. Their flag never goes anywhere. Here they come. We're talking Bolivia. We're talking Ethiopia. We're talking about Sweden. I don't know what, Italy or Netherlands? Whose flag is going up?
Italy.
A mixed flag?
No, Italy.
Half and half.
Yeah. The Dutch think they got half that flag. It's a natural process.
Well, some
got
not that natural.
Yeah. No, but I mean, nobody's waiting around to see their flag come off. That's what I'm saying. Better angle for this whole Kazakh situation. Oh, yeah. Well, no, these are Kazakhs. They can do what they want with their flag. It's the guys dumping it on the floor. These guys are proud. They worked really. They actually had a contested seat. Many people get their seat automatically just by product of waiting. These guys had to race against Thailand for all of Central Asia. La bandera. Ahí está la cosa. But it's Italy's flag that's there. And it's their journalist that smashed inner city press's camera. They're more committed to Cipriani fundraisers. U.S. is they're permanent. They don't have to be here. But Samantha Power wasn't here today, for what it's worth. Not to be mean-spirited, but she was not here. Her deputy, Michelle Sasson, they're on the way out. Total lame duck. It's a lame duck situation. Okay. Looks like it's a wrap. Felicitaciones. Bienvenido. Mi casa, su casa.
Let's go, brother. Matt, lock it up.
All right.